So I want to say good morning to everyone. Um, Dr. Swendeman, thank you for those opening comments. We are really all very excited about today. And I think what we can all do this morning is really kind of take a collective deep breath and exhale. And I think we can really kind of use that more optimistic frame for the rest of the day. So we have been sitting in the midst of a pandemic with COVID-19. We know that over 400,000 people in the United States have passed away due to COVID, and over 2 million people globally. And for those of us who have sat in the world of the HIV pandemic, and for many of us, or some of us, I should say, it has been a long time. And what we've experienced, I think, is we have not fully learned from the HIV pandemic in terms of how COVID was approached. But change is really coming, I think, with the new administration. I think we can be hopeful once again. We know just from what's happened over the last few days that health disparity and health equity have returned to the national health discourse with a sign of the executive order on advancing racial equity and support for underserved communities through the federal government. We're also excited that for the first time ever, we have an administration, a president who has appointed an advisor on combating racism and health inequities in healthcare with the appointment of Dr. Marcela Nunez-Smith. So these are all just really, I think, both wonderful and in some ways poignant, because that executive order really kind of rolled back what had occurred in the previous administration. So I think we can be optimistic in terms of one step forward, but also cautious. And sometimes there can be two steps backwards as well. So our conference theme is really in line with the hopefulness that we're seeing in the new administration. This is a new day, and I personally am really looking forward to the rest of the day. We are really pleased that this year we really have tried to feature our emerging investigators, and we've got a great group of people who will be talking today. And we're all quite excited to hear from Dr. Courier, who's been at the forefront of treating COVID-19. So with that, I'd like to turn it over to Dr. Shoptaw.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
Awesome. Okay, I'm having computer problems or some sort of issues. So anyway, thanks everyone for being here today. I just really want to do a brief introductions and say thank you and welcome. I'm very impressed with Judy Courier joining us today. I'm looking forward to hearing what she has to say, and I hope I get to see her slide deck at some point. The Next Generation NextGen conference is always a great opportunity for networking, and I really want to salute the team that even despite the fact that we can't be together physically, there are many ways to network today, which is one of the main reasons why we hold this conference. As Dr. Milburn was saying, the idea of having opportunities for people to interact. We also have built into the day opportunities for you to win things. So we understand that Zoom can be fatiguing, so we have opportunities to chat and to talk and to network, but we also have opportunities to win. So this is going to be a fun day. I just want to close today with these opening remarks by sending my deepest thanks to Dami Jolayami. She's been remarkable in terms of planning all of this work. Hats off to Dr. Milburn and Swendeman. You guys, you two are just amazing and have put together a very exciting agenda for the day. And always, Wen Cao, thank you so much for all of your untiring work in getting us ready to go. And with that, I think I'll stop. and just point out that there are going to be some opportunities for funding that come up. I think it's important, especially with learners and new people at the front ends of their careers, to know about what opportunities are upcoming. One is that's going to be released in the next few days is the AIDS Institute pilot grants. So please be looking for that application that will be coming out in your email inboxes within the next few days. I'd like to just shamelessly plug an opportunity to work with M-Study cohort data to be able to look at biological interactions between drug use and HIV in minority men who have sex with men here in Los Angeles. So if you have an idea or would like to get involved, please reach out to me and to Dr. Pamina Gorbach to talk about coordinating a response to that pilot project. There are opportunities for diversity supplements at CHIPS. We'd like to make sure that we are promoting the use of diversity supplements to get people from minority race, ethnic, and sexual gender communities into our field and doing work. So please talk with the faculty about potential diversity supplements. And then finally, a new program that we're starting this year, Dr. Milburn may give some more details about this later, is a Bridge Scholar. This is an opportunity for 5% salary to work with Dr. Milburn or me or other faculty here at CHIPS and to be able to network with scientific communities and to have access to data sets to actually address the issue of success between getting that first job and getting past to the 8-year limit review. So that's the purpose of the Bridge Scholar. We'll be talking about it a bit more. The competition is going to be keen and stiff, so we'd like to, if you're interested, please send an email right away so that we can start conversations, and we'll be sending out information about this later. Okay, I'm going to stop there, and Dr. Swendeman, I think you're up.
Thank you, Dr. Shoptaw. So a couple of points of other points before we move to Dr. Courier's presentation and her introduction. We are offering continuing education credits through our wonderful partners, the LA Region Pacific AIDS Education and Training Center. You have to have registered with the PAETC prior to the conference, and you need to stay the length of the conference to earn the CEUs. So that's just one order of business for those folks hoping to earn some continuing education credits. There will also be a CHIPS evaluation form will be emailed to you all after the conference. So please complete the evaluation form and let us know how this format goes. We hope to be back in person in the future, but we also anticipate there could be a hybrid sort of style of conferences moving forward, particularly to enhance participation for folks that can't always make it in person. So please let us know how we can improve and how the experience has been for you. You can also, in terms of the breakout rooms, you can go freely in and out of the breakout rooms. If you haven't updated your Zoom app on your computer, please do so at a break because it will give you enhanced features that will allow you to do this if you're not able to do that for some reason. Just a little bit of information about the prizes and raffles. We will have raffles sort of in between some of the break sessions. $25 gift cards for Target or Amazon, and that's just to reward and encourage your participation and timeliness of returning to the sessions. This main session, this open plenary, will be in the main session, but the panels will be in breakout rooms. So in person, previously we had the panels in the main group, but also to save on some Zoom fatigue and time to not go until 3 or 3:30 or 4 today, we have the panel sessions in breakout rooms so you can choose which to go to. And you could also choose to go in and out of those rooms to catch a presentation you really want to see. Those panels are at 10:10 and 11:35, and they have 3 presentations each. You can send your questions in the chat, and the speaker or discussants will address the questions verbally during the Q&A session. And we'll try to answer all the questions allotted, but often there won't be time. So it's possible that follow-up questions will be answered in the chat. And there's also the networking session that Dr. Shoptaw mentioned, and you'll be able to pick rooms of interest, and there's guided discussion topics for that.
Dallas, I just wanted to say that I'm getting some emails from other people who are like me, not being able to join the meeting. So can we have our IT people looking at this?
Yes.
So just to let you guys know, so there's a workaround for people who are having the problem where they're getting booted back saying that that their other device is logged in. So what you do is you go to your Zoom account through the UCLA or whatever website, your own Zoom account, then you enter the meeting ID number, and then it shows up as with your profile in the conference, and then you get in. Clicking on the link does not work for some of us for some reason. I'm not exactly sure why. So there's somebody else asking me about that, so I'm sending her an email. But I can CC you on that, Dallas, those instructions.
Yeah, great if you CC Wen and Dami as well.
Okay.
Yep, thank you. Yes, I think Wen sent an email to everybody with the Zoom link. Sometimes you have to copy and paste the link into a browser for it to work. Or as Dr. Lee said, just enter the meeting number. So hopefully that'll get sorted out in the next couple of minutes for everybody. I can't see how many attendees we have now, but with 220 participants, it's not surprising that we might have some technical difficulties for some. Yes, and folks may have had to register or re-register. So thanks for bearing with us. And with that, I'm going to introduce Dr. Courier for the plenary session. We're very excited and privileged to have Dr. Courier give the plenary today. Dr. Courier is a professor of medicine, chief of the Division of Infectious Diseases, and co-director of the Center for Clinical AIDS Research and Education Center, the CARE Center at UCLA. And she's the Sue and Michael Steinberg Endowed Chair in Global AIDS Research in the Department of Medicine at UCLA. She was elected chair of the NIH-sponsored AIDS Clinical Trials Group, ACTG, in 2017 and serves as the principal investigator of the Leadership Operations Center for the ACTG based at UCLA, which serves as the coordinating center for 53 clinical research sites in 16 countries and conducts clinical trials evaluating novel HIV therapeutics, HIV cure, tuberculosis, comorbidities, and hepatitis B cure. She also serves as the principal investigator of the UCLA AIDS Prevention and Treatment Clinical Trials Unit based at UCLA. And she's been involved in the clinical care of patients with HIV infection for over 25 years. Her research is focused on HIV therapeutics and long-term complications of HIV disease with an emphasis on sex differences in antiretroviral therapy, cardiovascular disease, and women's health. And most notably for the current pandemic, in March of 2020, Dr. Courier was appointed to the Accelerating COVID-19 Therapeutic Interventions and Vaccines Active Therapeutics Working Group under the NIH Foundation. So we're very excited to have Dr. Courier presenting today on HIV, AIDS, and COVID-19. And with that, we can hand it off to you.